Happy Thursday, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today here. I've got a fun card to share with you. My name is Lori DeGroot from Lorita Marie Crafts, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Calgary, Alberta. And I love to come live every Thursday so that I can give you some fun card making tips and ideas to help you take your paper crafting supplies and turn them into beautiful projects and cards that you can then share with others. So, forgive me for being a little distracted today. Today was kind of a crazy day. I've had a sore back all week, so sitting in this chair is like super uncomfortable. So hopefully I can make it through the whole thing. So that's why I'm only making one card today. And yeah, busy out this morning. My son got his cast off. He's been 6 weeks with an arm cast, full arm cast all the way up to here. So we're happy to have that off. And yeah, so lots of fun things going on in the summertime, right? I just also wanted to quickly mention that we are almost done July, which means, if you can believe it, I mean, summer is almost half over, and that means bonus days is almost over. So if you haven't heard, if you spend, or when you spend $60, so let me get this right, every $60 that you spend in July, you will earn a $6 coupon that you can use in August. So that's fun. So until the end of July, if you do that, I am also offering a free card kit as a thank you for ordering with me and with my current house code. So I'll post a link here on which code that is. But the current card kit that I will mail out to you is the one that I made last week. So it's so cute, featuring the delightfully eclectic DSP and the radiating stitches dies. I'm backwards, aren't I? I should have mirrored this. You're seeing everything backwards. Okay, so yeah, you will get everything you need cut and prepped except for all the stamped things as usual. And that's just a thank you for ordering. So I'll post a link there. So you only have until the end of July, which is what? The end of Monday? I don't know. Time, you know, you think summer's going to go slow and then poof, you blink and then it's almost over. So it's kind of crazy. So that's that. Today I'm going to be I was trying to think of a fun card that would be, yeah, just fun to put together. I was going to do the paper florist dies this week. That's my whole plan. But then I've had a sore back all week and haven't really been able to be in my craft room. So I came up with a fun card yesterday that I'm really excited to share with you that features some things I haven't used for a while, but also one of my current favorite stamp sets, which is the Darling Details stamp set. So let's point you down to the desk and we will get to the creative bit here. All right. So like I said, I'm going to be using one of the images from the Darling Details stamp set, a couple of the dies, but today is all about gold. So I'm going to be featuring all golden accents. So sorry, I got a mosquito bite. I'm having a rough week. Okay. So there's all of this fabulous specialty paper in Stampin' Up's catalog. I don't know if you've checked it out, or maybe it's a page that you kind of go by, but there's all this fun specialty paper, and one of it is gold foil, which has been around for a while, but you should go check out all the new ones that we have this year. But I'm going to be using a little hint of gold foil, and I am going to sneak on my favorite little golden butterflies. I couldn't resist. Golden butterflies. And I'm going to be using something that I haven't used for a while, especially here on Alive. And look at, it's kind of a mess. I just leave it as a mess. But this is the Gilded Leafing, which is so much fun to use. And so I'm going to be showing off this again today to get some fun gold. So first we're going to start by creating the base of our card. And we're going to be doing all the steps here. So I decided to use crumb cake as my card base. I've got a fun color scheme to show you today. And I was thinking of a nice neutral palette that I could go on. So you could absolutely put this just on a white card base, but for some reason I like the way crumb cake looks as a base of a card. So I'm going to be using crumb cake. And then I'm going to just need a piece of white that I'm going to cut to 3 3/4 by 5. And then I want to map this, or mat it on a bit of pink cardstock. So I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo today. And so I'm just going to make this 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it's going to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And that's just going to set off that white from the crumb cake. So kind of like this. So I'm going to be using actually 5 colors today. So you could pick any color that you like for the background. But I am going with pink. I saw Barbie yesterday, so I've got pink on the brain. So that's that. And then I thought we need to add a little texture to our background. So an easy way to do that is, of course, to emboss. So let's grab the, if I can pick it up without putting my back out here. So I've got my Stampin' Cut emboss machine, and I just need platform 1. And you could use any embossing folder. I don't actually have that many at the moment, but one of my favorite ones is this Painted Textures one. It's so beautiful. The 3D ones are awesome, right? So I'm just going to put my white cardstock in there, make sure the hinge goes in first, and then I need platform 4. And now you've got the perfect sandwich just to run that through quickly. And when you're running through an embossing folder, there shouldn't be any tough resistance. You should have a nice, seamless way to run it through. And let's see if you can see that kind of texture on there. That's one of my favorite embossing folders. Oop, got my paper flying around here. Okay, so we're going to mat this on our Flirty Flamingo. And then we're going to put this onto our crumb cake card base. And then we're going to get to the fun part. So this is essentially a backdrop for all the pretty stuff. So you can do whatever you like. This is just what I've chosen to do. And now we're going to do some flowers. So I have got a fun color scheme, like I said, which I then forgot to pull out the cardstock. Okay, we just got pieces here. So my color scheme today, I'm still in full-on summer mode. Do you know that as a demonstrator, we got to see the holiday catalog yesterday? The PDF is out, and so that's a perk to becoming a demonstrator. So we got to see the PDF yesterday of the new mini catalog, which is September to December this year. If you're a demonstrator, you also get to pre-order in August, and catalogs will be in the mail throughout August. So yeah, it's like got a hint of this Christmas stuff, but you know, when it's the middle of July, you're still like full on summer here in Calgary. So I'm making you a summary card before we get too distracted by all the beautiful new products. So my color scheme today is Flirty Flamingo, Daffodil Delight, Pool Party, Petal Pink, and Lemon Lime Twist. And they're fun and they're look surprisingly really good together. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our Gilded Leafing on it. So I've done some ahead of time, but we're going to do 2 together. Just figure out what I'm doing here. So I'm going to use the flower image from Darling Details. So it's this outline one. And what you need is, this is the little embossing kit, which is awesome because we're going to use the heat and stick powder and the Gilded Leafing, and you need a Versamark ink pen. So I want to do 5 flowers. I've done some ahead of time, but we're going to do the yellow and the pink together here. So I can show you could, you know, mass produce. So 5 flowers, you could stamp, put the powder on all 5, and then I'll show you what happens next. So we'll just move this out of the way for now. So you just want to ink it up into your Versamark, then stamp it onto your cardstock. And then right away, you want to shake your heat and stick powder onto it. And I just use the tray. I love it because I can just tap it off. And then just make sure you've got really good coverage. So if it didn't get all the way, you can just dump a little more on. That looks good. I wouldn't flick it because you'll flick off too much powder. So like a gentle tap. And then now we'll do the yellow one. Press that down. Put our powder on. tap it a bit, make sure we like that. And then I'll just put this aside for now, clean it up later. Hopefully I don't dump it everywhere. Make sure to always put your lid on your Versamark so it doesn't dry out. And then you need your heat tool. So we're just gonna heat set that powder. So it doesn't take very long, and you can see it changing color there from the white to the shiny. The yellow is a little bit harder to see. All right, now we're gonna play in the gold leafing. So I also did a flower in the Lemon Lime Twist, Pool Party, and Petal Pink. So I've got my gilded leafing in a bin just because it flies everywhere. So it needs to be contained. So just, you know, at the dollar store or wherever, you can find a bin, and just don't take it off with a big whoosh because it's going to fly everywhere. So I leave it in this nice big mess, and then I don't have to worry too much about it. So then what you do is you just grab some and just go crazy. And then you just kind of rub it in. But this is what I do anyway. So if you have excess, right, you want to get all the parts of your stamped image. And then I found, I used to use the sponge here. We don't sell the sponge anymore. This is the paintbrush that comes with the embossing additions kit that comes with that tray. And you know what? It's perfect. And the gold leafing doesn't stick to the bristles. And so then I can get, you can kind of see I'm getting off the excess where I don't want it. And I can kind of rub the parts where it's stuck, where I don't actually have the image. There we go. And then, isn't that so much fun? So you may be wondering, why would you choose the gold leafing over, say, just embossing in gold? Well, gold embossing is actually quite dark, right? So it's still gold and fun, but it doesn't have this bright, shiny gold like the gilded leafing has. And so when I was designing this card, I was like, oh, I should emboss in gold. That's fun. I was like, well, sometimes it's hard to see. And then I thought, oh, I have not used my gilded leafing in a long time. And then you're going to get this nice, bright, shiny gold, which is perfect for this summery look that I'm going for. So I'm sure there's lots of other tips out there for gilded leafing, but when I'm trying to do my cards, I'm just trying to make it as easy on myself as possible. I don't want to make things too complicated. And so that really doesn't take very long to brush it off, and then you've got it perfect. And then it sticks. And see, there's nothing on my brush, and so I can use my brush for embossing still. And get your lid on before you have a golden disaster. All right, so then we need to cut these out. So I have got the Darling Details dies, and there's the outline image there. And so we're going to cut these out. And so we need Sand to Cut Emboss machine, platform 1, 2, oh, making a mess, and a cutting plate. And then just set that down. And then put this here. I find with flowers, there's always like one bump that you know which way the die goes. But don't feel bad if you have to spin it a few times to try to figure out exactly how it fits onto your flower. I played with this one now a few times, so I know which way to put it on now. And then we've got, look how pretty that is. So much fun. So there's the pink one. Let's go ahead and do the yellow one. And I just hold it down like this. If you need like washi tape or a Post-it to hold your die in place for you. That'll help sometimes if you find it moving around on you. Let's get this out of the way. And then here's our yellow one. Okay, so we've got Flirty Flamingo, Daffodil Delight, and like I said, but I already went ahead and did Lemon Lime Twist, Petal Pink, and Pool Party. It just makes me happy. They look so pretty together. So there's a variety of ways that you can put this on your card. So initially I was thinking like something like this, surrounding the sentiment in the middle, but then I ended up putting them on kind of in a row. So that's how I'm going to do it, is putting them in a row down the side. And I'm going to use dimensionals. Let me just find a sheet here with some on them. And I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of every one. And then what I like about dimensionals is that you can kind of lay it out onto your card like lightly, and then you can still move them around. They're not like permanently stuck to your project. You can kind of play around with it a bit. So I'm going to put the Flirty Flamingo in the middle just to connect with the matte color that I used. So if you wanted yellow to be the star of the show, you could put the yellow in the middle and then matte your white here in yellow, or whichever color is your favorite. So I think we're going to do something like that. Then you can stick it down. So I just do it loosely. I can still tweak them when I'm happy with it. I just kind of push them down, and then they're good and secure. So then I was trying to think of a label piece that I wanted to put on here. And so I actually thought of this really fun one that's from the Sentimental Park dies, because it's got the little flowers on the edge and it's so pretty. And I thought that would look perfect with these. And so that's the label piece. I just went ahead and cut that out already. So you can see it's got those fun flower details on it. And then I wanted to add another gold element. So in our Darling Details dies, there's this one here that's like a little leaf. So it does coordinate with a stamped image if you want to stamp and cut it out, but I just wanted the look. And so I cut it out in gold foil, like I showed you earlier. And I just cut out a few of them. So we're going to add those on, and then our sentiment. And so then that's just another way to tie in a little bit of gold. So I think what I'm going to do is just put them on a glue dot. Line them up here. And then you can just kind of tuck them in. And again, I won't push hard down until I'm kind of happy with how they look. But there's no right or wrong way, of course. I think we'll tuck this guy in there. Then it's just like another fun way to add some gold. So if you're kind of happy with that looks, you can do that. You could add another glue dot onto the top too if you want them to be more secure. And then we just got our sentiment. So I'm going to use the Happy Birthday and Flirty Flamingo. So I was thinking that it would also look nice if you, say you cut out your label piece in a darker colored cardstock, and then you could emboss your sentiment. That would also look really good. But I just decided to do white. I always like black and then do white embossing. That looks good too. And then I think we're just going to offset it here kind of in the center. So we'll put one dimensional there and then use our seal on the other side because it's going to be popped up on the flower a little bit. Something like that. And then I just used the butterflies last week, so I was trying not to use them this week, but obviously this card needs the butterflies, the brushed brass butterflies. And if they're hard to pick off, you can use take your pick tool. And we'll just put one there. And just there on the sentiment. And that is our card for today. So like I said, I just have the one card today. But it's fun, right? Fun and summery. I love this gold. And of course, this could be for any occasion. So the Darling Details stamp set has a hello there, just a note, thank you, count me among all people who are here for you. I mean, this would really go for any occasion. And you could tweak the colors too to your favorite colors, but these are some fun summery colors for you. It's a little blurry. There we go. Just bring you up quickly for a second. Just a shorty today. Actually, it wasn't too bad. So thanks for hanging out with me today. If you were watching last week and were expecting me to use the paper florist dies and then I didn't, I'm sorry. I've put my back out a little bit. So not much time in the craft room this week, but this one was fun to come together. And I find, like, say you haven't crafted much or you're having a hard time, just go for your favorite things. Pick your favorite stamp set, your favorite colors, and things will start coming together. And that's what I did today. So hope that you like it. And it is already August next week. So I'll be back next week with some more fun cards for you. And don't forget about bonus days. Only a few days left. And if you order with my host code, you will get a lovely free card kit in the mail where you can make some cards. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. Thanks. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.